Hi everyone, because it's book week this week, I thought I'd start our road safety lessons with a story. The story I'm going to share with you is called That's the Sound the Street Makes. Clunk! That's the sound of our front door when we close it behind us. Creak! That's the sound of our front gate when we pull it closed and step onto the footpath. Sniffle, sniff, sniff, sniff. That's the sound of Dad blowing his nose because he's sick today and he had to get out of bed to walk me to school. Screech! That's the sound of a scooter stopping on the footpath because Dad was blowing his nose so much that he didn't see the kid on the scooter riding to school with his mum. Watch out, Dad, I say. You have to be careful on the footpath. The other parents walking their kids to school all pay attention and watch where they're going. Sorry, Ella, says Dad to me. Vroom, 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 vroom. That's the sound of all the cars and buses and motorbikes driving along the street. Clop, clop, wish, clop, clop, wish, psh. That's the sound of all the parents and kids heading to school along the footpath. Achoo! That's the sound of Dad doing a big, disgusting sneeze that makes everyone turn around to look. Beep! That's the sound of a bus beeping Dad. He was so busy sneezing, he started crossing the street when he's not supposed to cross. Get off the road, Dad, I yell at him. You can't cross here. It's dangerous. Look at all the other parents and kids. They're all crossing on the corner where the pedestrian crossing is. We have to cross there. Come on, pay attention. Sorry, Ella, says Dad to me. Beep, 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 beep. That's the sound of the button at the pedestrian crossing, making a slow bipping noise telling us the walk light is red and we can't cross yet. Plock! That's the sound when I press the button at the pedestrian crossing, so the walk light will turn green. Vroom, vroom, honk, honk, vroom, vroom, vroom. That's the sound of all the cars and buses and motorbikes going past us as we wait for the walk light to turn green. Plock, 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 plock. That's the sound of Dad pressing the button over and over again because he thinks if he presses it lots, the walk light will turn green faster. Stop that, Dad, I say to him. Pushing the button over and over again won't make the walk light change faster. Sorry, Ella, says Dad to me. Brake! Brake! That's the sound of all the cars and buses and motorbikes stopping because the traffic light has turned red. Bippa, 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 bippa. That's the sound of the button at the pedestrian crossing making a fast beeping noise telling us the walk light has turned green and we can cross safely now. Clop, clop, wish, clop, push, clop, clop, clop. That's the sound of all the other parents and kids crossing the street together and holding hands. Sniffle, sniff, sniff. That's the sound of Dad blowing his nose and just walking off with everyone else, crossing the street without me because he's not thinking again. Come back, Dad, I yell at him. We're supposed to hold hands when we cross the street. Sorry, Ella, says Dad. Then he comes back. We hold hands and we cross the street together. I just hope I'm not holding the hand he used to blow his nose. Hey, Ella, hey! That's the sound of my friend Seb, who's waiting for me when we get to the other side of the street. Mate! That's the sound of Seb's dad saying hello to my dad when we get to the other side of the street. Mumble, mumble, mate, mumble, mumble, mate, mumble, mumble. That's the sound of my dad talking to Seb's dad in front of someone's house. Toot, toot! That's the sound of a car trying to get out of the driveway of the house, tooting at my dad and Seb's dad because they're blocking the way. Watch out, I say to both dads. You have to be careful in front of driveways. Cars are always coming out of them, so you need to pay attention. Sorry, Ella, Dad says to me. Woo, wow, hoo, wee, woo, hoo. That's the sound of the schoolyard with all the kids playing in it. Hey, Seb, hey, Ella. That's the sound of our friends at the school gate yelling out hello to me and Seb when we get to school. Bring! That's the sound of the school bell ringing because it's time for school to start. Smooch! That's the sound of Dad kissing me on the head, though I wish he wouldn't because he's got a cold. See you, Dad. Now be careful when you're going home, I tell him. Look out for driveways, cross at the pedestrian crossing, and pay attention to all the traffic and people and sounds going on around you, okay? Thanks, Ella, says Dad to me as he waves goodbye and turns to walk back home. Squish! That's the sound of Dad stepping in a big dog poo on the ground because he wasn't looking where he was going. Hee 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 hee. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that story and that you took notice of how clever Ella was, knowing all of her road rules and how to be safe around the roads. And I'm glad that she was there to help her dad so that something bad didn't happen to him on his way to school. And I'm glad to report that the worst thing that happened to Dad was that he did step in that big dog poop because he wasn't paying attention. All right, we'll move on to the rest of our lesson now.